Good day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Today is my favourite of all days. It's the comments day, wherein I react to your missives and try to answer any questions that you might have honestly, openly, and with a frank heart. Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Right, let's get these comments going. Apparently this week there are a few unsavoury remarks that I need to react to, which I don't mind doing, obviously. I think it's good to have a balance, isn't it? It can't all be, I think your channel's brilliant. It can't all be that. Oh, first of all, there are some super thanks people. Green Machine, ADE87, Harold FS, Prurient Pete, Jakob Hopperman, John State, and Kev Catnip. So these are the guys that did the super thanks over the last week, and I really appreciate it. If you do a super thanks, then I'll give you a shout out next week as well. Watchmaster says, although you are right about George Ezra and how bland and boring his music is, it still seems that you are deluded in thinking The Darkness any better. What makes you think that I think The Darkness are any better? This is one thing that I often have to stress here in the comments. When I make a remark about George Ezra, is not informed by my role in The Darkness. This is my YouTube channel, wherein I use my own personal opinions to, critique the music of the day. It's got nothing to do with The Darkness. Deluded, maybe, yeah. I think the best singers usually are, to an extent, aren't they? So, thank you. Eddie T. Tree says, Justin Hawkins, why does some music bring actual tears? I read it's because we have vibrations, and if a note or a chord is struck in sympathy with those vibes, it causes the reaction. Is that all there is to it? Does it happen to everyone? I'm a guy and it happens to me. Really embarrassing. Don't be embarrassed, Eddie. It's happened to me as well. It just, who knows what it is. I reckon it's because you remember that, I think, is it in A Prayer for Owen Meany? There's a book, and one of the things that they say in there is that your memory is you know that thing of, was it, you don't own your memory owns you, and sometimes there's things that you think you've probably forgotten that you experienced, and then an echo of it comes up, and it's triggered by a sort of conditional memory that the combination of a chord and a melody or a word sung in a certain pitch will just trigger something from your childhood, and that could explain it, some traumatic event that you've probably, forgotten on the surface, but it's still bubbling away underneath there. Who knows? I mean, there's going to be lots of reasons why people cry, but if it's triggered by certain songs or a certain chord or a certain thing, I suggest you explore that and try to unpack it. There's probably something in there that you haven't dealt with, but under no circumstances be embarrassed about it. I celebrate the weeping of tears. Is that what happened? Yeah, the weeping of tears. That's what I might call one of my solo albums, The Weeping of Tears. It's good, isn't it? Powerful. I can't tell if I'm sexually attracted to this man or not. Thanks, I think. Here we go. There's two comments here about Miley Cyrus and Metallica. Ozman says, I think she's a complete joke and Metallica just showed their true colours doing performance with her. They've both sold their souls. I can't believe I even watched this. Well, half of it anyway. That's all right, Osman. It's up to you, really. I mean, you don't have to like it, do you? I thought it's quite an interesting collaboration and a good way to sort of revitalise an old Metallica song that probably reached a wider audience, actually. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of playing a song that's that old. It's not like they're promoting a current album by doing that. And I think it sort of exposed Metallica to like a big part of Miley Cyrus's audience who might not even be aware of metal as an art form. It can only be good in my opinion, but obviously you're entitled to yours too. The other one about Metallica was from Tom Itztube, who says, sorry, pop singers always fail at rock. They always sound like they're in a singing contest. I think, 9 times out of 10, I think I probably agree with you actually, Tom Itztube, but I reckon this is Tom Itztube. But this is the occasion when it's the 1 out of 10 that really works. I think she's got a great voice. I don't think she sounds like she's singing in a competition. I don't think she's ever had to do that either. Remember, she was a child star. She's been singing all her life, and she's got something. I think she's really got something. Hi, Justin. What is your take on the naturally talented versus it's all hard work debate? Is one absolute and the other nonsense? Is there elements for both? Would you consider yourself to be naturally talented? Are your parents, grandparents, etc. musical, or did you and Dan start the music amongst the branches of the family tree? Well, actually, my uncle, great uncle, was he was a keyboard teacher. His main claim to fame was that he taught one of the keyboard players from Boney M. I say one of the keyboard players from Boney M because I think this guy was too young to be an original sort of touring member of Boney M, but I think he was one of the later sort of touring incarnations of Boney M, had him in it. I think the naturally talented thing is like, I reckon music is a bit like sports, really. It's like you have to have some sort of aptitude for it in the first instance for it to catch fire, and then all the work that you put into it is justified by the thrill and the spark of it all. But I think it's a combination of aptitude and hard work. Keep coming back. Thanks, James. Tracy. Hi, Tracy. And Tracy asks, what's the best advice another musician ever gave to you? Oh, God. Well, Rob Cavallo gave me 2 pieces of really brilliant advice. The first one, he said to me, if you're looking for an amplifier, buy something like a Matchless that's super versatile, and you can do lots of different things with it, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of session work, and then you can do whatever a particular track or an artist requires from you. And then the other one he said was always tune your guitar fixed string first. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It doesn't always occur to guitarists. It always occurs to techs or people that actually are responsible for that sort of thing. The other one was you can't polish a turd. I think that's good. I think if you're spending a lot of time trying to arrange a song, it's probably time to shit can it, really. It isn't good enough. And here are the most important comments. These are the super thanks questions. John Stitt said, I dig your channel. Any guitar players or guitar albums you consider a must listen? I learn. Okay, well, yeah, definitely go to... I really love the studio albums that Rory Gallagher made. There's 2 in particular that are brilliant. I think I might have spoken about them in my Rory Gallagher, The Glory of Rory thing that I did, but let me just get up 2 of the albums that I think you should listen to. Have a listen to Top Priority. Most people like there's some really amazing live stuff of his, which is worth listening to and learning, but I really like Top Priority and Photo Finish, which are 2 studio albums that really take some beating. There's some great guitar playing on there. Jakob Hopperman said, tack back. Prurient Pete said, in your experience, how debauched is the inner sanctum of rock and roll? Ever been invited to any Eyes Wide Shut style soirees? He asked optimistically. Weirdly, I have been to a place like that, but not when it was in full swing. I've heard some sort of anecdotal, some anecdotes about those places from musicians that I've worked with, but I've never been to anything like that myself. I've got my reputation to consider. Harold FS says, thanks for a fun channel. Enjoyed the Harry Styles stroke Aha comparison and the Fleetwood Mac episode. Toodles from Harold Sigurdsson. Nice one, Harold. Appreciate you. EDEA7 says, thanks. You're welcome, and the pleasure is actually mine. Thank you. Green Machine also said thanks. Thanks back to you, Green Machine. I really appreciate you. Cheers for that. Oh, then Green Machine says, was lucky enough to see you guys blow the fucking doors off the Phoenix in Toronto last month. Single-handedly, the best rock show I've ever seen. Can't wait for the next Canadian tour. Oh, nice one, Green Machine. I always love playing at the Phoenix in Toronto. It's a special place. I was really pleased because I sang a little bit of a Ron Sexsmith song. Guys, listen to Ron Sexsmith. He's a great songwriter, and he's from somewhere near Toronto, I think. So yeah. Anyway. Justin Hawkins writes again. Thank you so much for all of your comments. keep them coming, good or bad. It's awesome. And don't forget, if you that way inclined, there's a super thanks option too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and watch one of these 2 videos. Nice one.